Qin Xuan traveled through the turbulent times of the Three Kingdoms and became a magistrate of Zhending. The Chu Yan army is besieging the city outside, and there is no supply of food and grass inside. In the midst of despair, the system has arrived. Bind the system and open a first-level shopping mall. As long as you buy it, it will automatically increase by 10,000 times, and you will get 10,000 Mantou if you buy one Mantou. As long as you have enough reputation, buy grain as you please. Reputation 1. Didi, reputation 10. Didi, reputation 100. Didi, upgrade to level 2 mall, host force 5. As his reputation increased, Qin Xuan found himself surrounded by good people, elite soldiers and generals, Zhu Shu. My lord, like a hidden dragon in the abyss, will surely soar to the sky. Zhao Yun. As a benevolent and righteous teacher, my lord, Zilong will surely follow with his life. LV Bu. Only Xian can fight me in this world. Cao Cao. When it comes to heroes of the world, only Xuan and Cao Er. 5 years later, Qin Xuan, dressed in a dragon robe, clenched his fist with one hand. Invincible is so lonely. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Unlimited resources, upgrading becomes strong, seeking. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the first year of Zhongping, December winter. Changshan County, Zhending County. Is the sky going to kill me? In the lobby of the county government office, a young man looking around 20 looked up and sighed. The young man's name is Qin Xuan, who has traveled through later generations. There are no family members at home, and it was only after scattering all the family wealth that I was able to secure the position of Zhending County Captain. It's like a county public security bureau chief, and the days were quite smooth. As a result, Chu Yan gathered tens of thousands of people to kill Zhending in the chaos of Huangjin. Still besieging outside now. The county magistrate and other officials were completely assassinated by Chu Yan's spies during the siege period. At present, Qin Xuan is the highest county official in Zhending County. Thinking of the current situation, even Qin Xuan, a traveler, felt hopeless. Thousands of troops outside. There are less than 1,000 troops in the city. The food supply in the city will run out if it lasts for at most 3 days. It's still snowing heavily outside. As for reinforcements, there's no need to think about it. Beacon smoke rises everywhere, and there are still people to support. If it weren't for Qin Xuan and his team fighting to defend the city gate last night, the city would have been broken long ago. There will be no more food in a few days, and the remaining officers and soldiers will definitely rebel. How can we play this? It's a hell of a difficulty. Qin Xuan couldn't help but let out another long sigh. Didi, that dominating the world system has been bound. The system's first-level mall has been opened. Just as Qin Xuan was in despair, a warning sound suddenly came to his mind. Dominating the global system. Has the standard configuration for the traveler arrived? I have tried various methods before. Even brainless blood drops have tried to recognize the master. But the system has not responded yet, it has come in this desperate situation. It's like a beam of light in the desperate darkness, warm and dazzling. Schwa. Qin Xuan thought for a moment, and the system interface came out. Host. Qin Xuan official position. County Lieutenant of Zhending County reputation. 25,699 force. 81st level mall refresh, a bowl of white rice, 1 reputation. 1 Mantou, 1 reputation. A bowl of noodle soup, 1 reputation. A plate of kimchi, 1 reputation. P.S. With a reputation of 1 million, you can upgrade to a second-level mall, which will open up more features. The items in the first-level mall are refreshed every day, and you can purchase 100,000 units per day. The limit will increase as the mall is upgraded. Rice, mantou, noodles, pickles. This is all food. In this world, whoever has food is their father. D. Congratulations to the host for binding to the system. The beginner gift package has been distributed. D. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the permission to purchase first-level mall items with a 10,000-fold increase, permanent. D. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Force plus 5 attribute. D. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 100 by 100 by 100 storage space. D. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 100,000 military coats. D. Congratulations on the host's force reaching 85 and obtaining the martial arts rainstorm pear flower gun. Qin Xuan was knocked unconscious by this newbie gift pack, and the first-level mall increased by 10,000 times. No one knows the concept of this in the Three Kingdoms better than Qin Xuan. This is equivalent to unlimited food and resources. And those 100,000 military coats are like a godsend in the snow. There's still more than one person left in Zhending County. With provisions. With a military coat. Is Qin Xuan still afraid of a large army besieging the city outside? The dilemma in Zhending County can be solved. Qin Xuan couldn't help but feel extremely passionate in his heart. If he came to visit these three countries, perhaps he could still compete for this world. Qin Xuan let out a deep sigh. At this moment, 5 people dressed in martial arts costumes walked in noisily. Captain Qin, the officers and soldiers have been eating porridge for 3 days in a row. If it goes on like this, there will be mutiny. Well, I can't see a few grains of rice in that porridge, so I will starve to death if I don't have to be beaten by others. If we keep doing this, then the officers and soldiers will turn against us, and we can't control it. Under the leadership of the former village chief Li Fei, a group of people were complaining with various tongues and tongues. It's nothing more than showing an attitude that if we don't give food, it will be counterproductive. They look down on Qin Xuan and think that the officials they bought have little ability. If we had no other choice in the end, we would definitely cut off Qin Xuan's head and surrender. Qin Xuan just watched them finish speaking. Thank you all for your hard work. I have prepared some food to eat together before going. After saying that, Qin Xuan asked people to bring a large table of rice, clear soup noodles, mantou, and pickles. A few people were all stunned. That snow-white rice, even if it's already the best restaurant, you can't eat it. On the clear noodles and soup, there were oil droplets floating one after another, and the smell was overwhelming. The big mantou is made of refined flour. That kimchi, there are also some vegetables that were not made at this time. Dog official. 5 people couldn't help but curse in their hearts. We eat porridge desperately outside. The dog officer eats rice and vegetables every day in the county government. Qin Xuan didn't deliberately pretend not to see their faces and greeted everyone, come on, everyone sit up and eat, mind your own business. A few people have been hungry for a few days, how could they be polite? Just after eating clear noodles and soup, I was shocked. The oil on the noodles and soup is so delicious that it can taste a little meat. Pickled kimchi again, and let out a loud scream, hiss, this small dish is actually salty with a hint of spiciness and a slight tingling. It's really delicious to eat. The other one filled a bowl of rice and ate it, but tears welled up in his eyes. I haven't had a decent bowl of rice in these years, and I haven't eaten such good rice even when I went to a banquet with the general back then. 5 people wolfed down and had no extra mouths to speak. Qin Xuan looked at them with a smile and asked, I don't know how the 5 generals think of my meal. A few people said sincerely. I won't even exchange this meal for an official. Okay, just have this sentence. Actually, you can tell from the behavior of a few people eating. The crisis in Zhending County has been resolved. Chapter 2. Is this a Zhuang Xing meal? Seeking collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhending County, at the city gate. More than 100 officers and soldiers, dressed in tattered clothes, divided into several circles and gathered around the fire to keep warm. Damn it, why haven't we served food yet? Sir, can they be greedy for our military supplies? A middle-aged man with a fierce face said fiercely, if they dare to be greedy, I will kill them to the death. The blood on the clothes hasn't been wiped clean yet. Chu Yan has been besieging the city for half a month. They have repelled countless rebel attacks. But since 10 days ago, the food has been very poor. There are few rice porridge every day. Now the brothers below are so hungry that their eyes are dizzy and their feet are weak. Just like that, last night we broke Chu Yan's conspiracy of internal cooperation and external cooperation. But it can't continue like this forever. Although it is said to serve the country. Even if we haven't paid our rations for 3 months, it's okay. I can't even guarantee food and clothing now. I can't say when I will turn around and join the rebels. After all, fate is not as great as heaven and earth. Let's put the food. The county captain is here to put the food. I saw Qin Xuan walking towards the city gate with his relatives and followers carrying several large tanks. There are still some people carrying something unknown. A group of people were already starving and waiting to eat. This goose feather snows heavily, my whole body is cold when I'm hungry. Looking at the familiar vat, the officers and soldiers couldn't help but feel a little annoyed. It's porridge again, and let people live. Damn it, porridge every day, and ask us to fight the rebels. I don't think the rebels need to come, we'll starve to death in just 2 days. It must be that this has deducted our food and salaries. The city gate is filled with complaints. Qin Xuan saw that those few people were really not lying. Fighting against Chu Yan's rebels every day, I still can't eat enough. If in 2 more days, the officers and soldiers will be extremely hungry and will definitely mutiny. Upon hearing these people's complaints, Qin Xuan also felt a chill in his heart. Fortunately, the system has arrived, otherwise I wouldn't have been killed and submitted as a petition without knowing when. Qin Xuan looked seriously at the officers and soldiers below and said, Ladies and gentlemen, I know everyone has been complaining about the food recently. I'm here today to assure you all. In the future, we will definitely give everyone enough to eat. The officers and soldiers below couldn't help but cut. That sounds great. Kanji every day. Sorry to say it's good to eat when you're full. Qin Xuan didn't talk nonsense anymore, he just lifted up all the large cylinders. Moment a fragrance of rice and noodles spreads all around. The nearby officers and soldiers quickly ran over when they smelled the aroma. See where the water-like porridge is. A vat full of white rice. A vat full of noodles, that oily aroma is about to flow down. That red and green kimchi is delicious at a glance. Not to mention the big white mantou on the nearby base. God, rice, mantou, noodles, and vegetables. Where else can they wait when they hear it? Come around and take a look. The sound of exclamation kept rising one after another. Oh my God, these noodles are so fragrant. There are oil stains on them, I can even feel the meat flavor. This big white rice, even landlords and wealthy people can't afford it. There is also big white mantou, which is made of refined flour. The surrounding officers and soldiers couldn't help but feel a little uneasy and asked Qin Xuan, Sir, is this our meal? Since I took it out, of course it's for everyone to eat. In the future, as long as I am Qin Xuan, I will be full of rice, mantou, noodles and pickles. The fierce middle-aged man pushed aside the crowd and walked over. It was evident that he had a high reputation, and the officers and soldiers automatically stepped aside to let him come over, looking at Qin Xuan now, do you want us to have enough to fight the Chu Yan rebels to the death? But being able to have this meal before the last minute is worth it. Qin Xuan didn't speak. He just made a bowl of noodles and put a mantou into his hand. I'll say it again, as long as there's a day when I'm here, that's enough. Our officers' and soldiers' lives are also precious, I won't let you go and die. Upon hearing this, the officers and soldiers couldn't help but see that these meals were really meant for them to eat. When did they ever eat such good food? Even landlords and wealthy people dare not make such things. Line up one by one, those who serve rice, eat noodles and eat noodles. His gaze towards Qin Xuan also showed a hint of respect. Qin Xuan was also very satisfied with the changes in the officers and soldiers. D, reputation +1, D, reputation +1, D, reputation +1. The increase in reputation is a bit slow. Qin Xuan decided to add more fire. Shua. Just lift up what was blocked earlier. Take a look, officers and soldiers. It's all thick green coats. A soldier trembling all over pointed to his military coat and asked, County Captain, is this also for us? A soldier next to him pursed his lips. Wang Er, are you overthinking? They are so kind to give us such good clothes. I might as well eat 2 more bowls of rice with this time. I don't even know if this is a decapitated rice. The coat on the county captain's body looks like a good thing. It must be very warm. This kind of coat, even the former county magistrate couldn't wear it. How could he give them these big-headed soldiers? Qin Xuan picked up 2 sets of military coats and threw them to this resentful officer and soldier. Qin Xuan, spit and nail at a time. What I said was for you. Each person has 2 sets of military coats. Everyone heard it. This is called a military coat. The officers and soldiers habitually reached out to catch it, a bit unbelievable. Such a good coat. The officers and soldiers touched it soft and thick, and it looked warm. That's it for me. I think of my mother who didn't survive last year's heavy snow, and also of the mother-in-law and children who were freezing at home. Tears filled my eyes uncontrollably. He immediately knelt on the ground, crying loudly, Sir, I won't eat today's meal anymore, Chen Si. I just want to give me 2 more clothes. My mother-in-law and children are suffering. Chapter 3. The Power of Military Coat, for Collection. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chen Si's crying and shouting attracted many officers and soldiers who had not yet been lined up to eat. Hearing Chen Si say he has a military collar, quickly gather around and take a look. Oh my goodness! What was carried over were all neatly stacked new military coats. Some families with elderly and children even learned to kneel and shout like Chen Si, Sir, I won't eat today either. I just hope you can reward me with a few more clothes. Half of the over 100 people knelt on the ground. Qin Xuan pretended to be angry. What are you doing? What are you doing? The officer and soldier eating next to him bit a mantou. Looking at Qin Xuan with a disdainful expression, he was about to say something unpleasant to the person next to him. Qin Xuan spoke again, I need to eat, please take a military coat. If you have relatives at home, take them all. Still 2 sets per person. The officers and soldiers who were eating mantou had 2 sets each, and the family returned 2 sets. Surprisingly, his chin didn't even close and he didn't even notice to bite his tongue, causing him to hiss in pain. But he didn't hesitate to take a few mantou and go directly to lead the army coat. Chen Si was even at the forefront of the queue when he heard that his family could all receive 2. After receiving the clothes, tears couldn't stop flowing out. Kneel down and cry loudly. Mother, my son is incompetent. It would be great if you could catch up with the county magistrate and become the head of the family. Sir, I won't say anything beautiful. From now on, Chen Si's life will be yours. Chen Si is not the biological son of his parents, but an adopted one. But his parents always treat him like a biological child. Last winter, there was also such heavy snow, the old lady was afraid of freezing her grandson and putting her few clothes on the child in the middle of the night. Unexpectedly, he was infected with a cold wind and died in despair. At that time, Chen Si wished he could end himself with a single blow. My parents have never enjoyed happiness in their lifetime, and in the end, they still leave like this. Chen Sidua hates his own incompetence. This year's snow is even heavier than last year, and he is worried that his wife and children won't be able to endure it. I didn't expect Qin Xuan to directly send him military coats. Hope has returned to my heart. Many people, like Chen Si, were moved beyond measure by Qin Xuan's actions. The rice tube is full. Enough warm clothes. That county official can do it. Only his own county lieutenant Qin Xuan. Give your life to such a superior, don't worry. The few people who received their military coats first were already eager to put them on, and didn't even have time to take off their dirty clothes. As soon as I put it on, my whole body warms up. Hiss, this military coat is too warm. My mother-in-law and maid have been freezing these days, and my heart hurts. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. The craftsmanship of this coat is indescribable. The best embroidery lady in the county can't even make it. With the distribution of coats. The exclamation kept ringing. The mechanical sound of the system keeps ringing. D, reputation plus 20. D, reputation plus 5. D, reputation plus 10. Didi. Qin Xuan fiercely harvested a wave of reputation. Zhending City, Dongqing District. Wang Chun, wearing a new army coat and carrying a few sets in his hand, walked towards home with steps that he didn't recognize as his own. It is the soldiers who eat Mantou and bite their tongues. He is known for his inner fear. There is one mother-in-law and one child in the family, and her physique is even bigger than him, so he can't help but be afraid. Today he's going to set things right. As soon as I entered the house, I saw my own mother-in-law and children warming around the fire. Even so, the two still tremble a bit. Wang Chun threw his military coat at his mother-in-law, and his wife Tsuehua habitually reached out to catch it. Tsuehua, go pour me a cup of tea, I'm so thirsty. It's against you, Wang Chun. Tsuehua was preparing to have a big battle with Wang Chun, only to find that the things in her hand were soft and warm. Looking down, it turned out to be a brand new set of coats. I couldn't help but be pleasantly surprised. Spring brother, where did you get that coat? It's so handmade. Now I know I'll call you husband Chun Gu, and there will be plenty of benefits like following adults in the future. I also ate rice and mantou today, but I can't bring them home. Tsuehua didn't know what was on her mind and suddenly burst into tears. It shouldn't be that the Lord wants you to go out of the city and fight the rebels. With so much difference in military strength, there will be 10 deaths and no life. I don't want these things, I just want you to be safe and sound. You go back. I can withstand the barbecue with Erden. How can you live without us as mothers? Before Wang Chun could react, he was bombarded by a barrage of firecrackers from Tsuehua. I didn't know my mother-in-law was so nervous about me before. My heart is so beautiful. Now hurry up and comfort me. What are you thinking, sir? This is called welfare, the welfare of being a soldier. In the future, if you manage to fill every meal, your family can save some food and you can also have enough to eat. Tsuehua punched Wang Chun. Why didn't you say it earlier? I cried for nothing. I just wanted to say, you're like a chain of arrows, where can I get in there? I won't tell you anymore. Erden and I will put it on and take a walk next to Lu Hohat. Wang Chun knows that his mother-in-law's little trick of showing off has been committed again. But as someone in her teens, she can't change it anymore and can only let her do it. When Tsuehua went out, she was all inquiring about where her clothes came from. The man from my family brought it back and said it was a benefit given by adults. What is welfare? It's probably a good thing. Oh. This scene takes place in every corner of Zhending City. As long as anyone joins the army, they all bring new army coats home. The news quickly spread throughout the streets and alleys. Discussions can be heard everywhere on the streets, you know what. The county captain, Lord Qin Xuan, gave the big soldiers white rice, big mantou, noodles in soup and small dishes today. You haven't seen it, the fragrance has been spreading for hundreds of meters. It's not just about food. I heard that soldiers, including their families, have given out several sets of coats. The coats look like they are made of high-quality materials and handcrafted. I'll hurry back and ask if I can join the army. I'm starving to death. Join the army now, be careful not to risk your life. Being a starving ghost is better than being a starving ghost. You're right again. D, reputation +1. D, reputation +1. D, reputation +1. Drip. Qin Xuan didn't expect that having officers and soldiers change shifts and come home with coats would have such benefits. Chapter 4. Grain distribution throughout the city, name and fax confirmation, request for collection. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Relying solely on these less than 1,000 officers and soldiers. When can we reach the reputation of upgrading to a second-level mall? We still need to expand our scope. Qin Xuan immediately called a few people to the announcement below. Starting from tomorrow. The county captain is going to feed the entire city. The county captain is going to distribute military coats to the entire city. Until we get through this cold winter and repel the rebels outside. Zhending City, every small official passing through the streets and alleys announces to all the people. The county captain knows that it's difficult for everyone to get by, so he has decided to have lunch at the 4 major city gates starting tomorrow at noon every day. Each person can also receive a set of military coats. Please go quickly. The county captain knows that it's difficult for everyone to get by, so he has decided to have lunch at the 4 major city gates starting tomorrow at noon every day. Each person can also receive a set of military coats. Please go quickly. Many of the tightly closed doors have opened. The people are whispering to each other. Is this county lieutenant so kind-hearted? He's cooking and distributing coats. I'm afraid they didn't deceive us into mandatory conscription. Deceptive, definitely deceptive. Even the wealthiest Mr. Zhu dared not say he would treat the whole city to a meal. All kinds of disbelief. It's not that I don't believe the county captain really cooked. But rather afraid that there will be no return. Everyone knows that there have been significant casualties in recent battles with the rebels. It is said that the rebel army's food and supplies can last for more than a month. Everyone knows that there is no food in the city. Don't really get caught, that would be an injustice. Li Ergu from Dongqing shouted loudly, people die and birds face the sky, almost starving to death. With so many worries, even if I finish eating and go to the battlefield immediately, I am still a starving ghost. No, I'm so hungry that my chest is pressed against my back, and I'm worried about it. Ergo, I'll go with you. There are many people like Li Ergu, after all, in this era, those who can eat enough are all masters. The next day's noon will arrive soon. Li Ergu was the first to arrive at the place where food was served in Dongqing. When I got there, I looked at the big white rice and mantou. I can't believe it. Is it true that after finishing their meal, they will go to the battlefield? How else would I give them such good food? He was terrified and couldn't help but obediently ask the officers and soldiers who were serving food, Junyi, is this meal for us to eat? The officer and soldier directly beat a full bowl of rice into the bowl he brought, and then stuffed 3 big mantou. It's not for you to eat, but for whom to eat. Remember, county captain. Are you really going to put me on the battlefield? Go, look at you like a little chick, you're still on the battlefield. Let's take care of it first. The officers and soldiers are still chatting with the people next to them, still thinking about joining the army. They don't even know we eat 3 meals a day. That's right. Today I ate the clear soup noodles, and the oily smell is still in my mouth. I think that kimchi is a masterpiece. It's salty, refreshing, and spicy, and every bite is full of salty and fresh food. It's filled with refined salt, a bit of salt without any astringency. I've never eaten it since I'm so old, and even after eating it, I feel energized. Hurry up and finish putting it away. Put it back in place and go back to eat. The crowd waiting for food couldn't help but hear for a moment. This big soldier has 3 meals a day, and even the wealthiest Mr. Zhu used to only have 2 meals a day. They said not only rice mantou, but also oily noodles in soup and pickles. This is not the big-head soldier of Kohaha, living a life of immortality. No wonder those who joined the army yesterday walked horizontally back home. Every day these days, I walk even more arrogantly than them. Li Ergu doesn't care about these things, just put the military coat on his body first. I don't want to eat rice and mantou, so I just swaggered home. I intentionally walked a few steps slower when encountering a neighbor on the road. Finally, someone discovered the difference between the 2 dogs today. The brand new green coat, with a few white mantou and a bowl of rice. Where do these famous impoverished households come from? Ergo, shouldn't this be something you stole from somewhere? Dogs' eyes are too low on people. It's not true. I received it from the military master seriously, sir. The 2 dogs shouted loudly, causing many people who were closing doors and windows to poke their heads out. Hiss, Ergo, are you really sent by the military master? Didn't he pull you to join the army? Ergo sneered and said loudly, I actually want to join the army. I heard from the military master that soldiers eat 3 meals a day. There are not only white rice mantou, but also noodles in soup and side dishes. There is still oil in noodles in soup. My mouth is watering from what they said. Unfortunately, they don't like me. So this coat was also sent over there. Isn't it posted over there? Did I steal it? I don't have the courage either. I'll tell you, I've never worn such warm clothes in my life. Wow. People who hear Li Ergu say this can't resist it. Open all the doors and run towards the nearest city gate. Worried about the slow pace, we ran out of food and clothes. The officers and soldiers at the city gate are seeing too many people. Quickly maintain order. Everyone lined up, got their things, and said, hello, County Captain Qin Xuan. Everyone still feels a bit scared when they see the officers and soldiers. Quickly line up according to the requirements. The people who haven't turned yet are whispering softly, I didn't expect this county magistrate to have the courage. The previous county magistrate would only be greedy for money. Isn't it just that, not to mention the previous county magistrate, there was an official who could do what the county magistrate did before. That's not true. That's it then. Qin Xuan's mind kept reminding him that his reputation was increasing, reputation plus 10. Drop, reputation plus 10. Drop, reputation plus 10. Drip. Chapter 5. Rebels in Chaos, Zhao Yun comes to surrender. You are listening at novelfull.audio. For 10 consecutive days, Qin Xuan served meals to the entire city, and the officers and soldiers in the army had 3 meals a day. Both the people in the city and the officers and soldiers are visible and sturdy to the naked eye. Where else are there those who used to be yellow-faced and thin-skinned? Qin Xuan's reputation is also steadily rising. Schwa. Qin Xuan summoned the system interface again, host. Qin Xuan official position. County Lieutenant of Zhending County reputation. 456,884. 85. This reputation is still rising a bit slowly. Conquering the Chu Yan rebels outside is imperative. Remembering the fierce man I saw in the military camp that day. I asked someone to inquire, and the man's name is Li Ding. I turned out to be a blacksmith, because I ate a lot and couldn't even eat enough to earn money from forging iron, so I joined the army. With a sword technique that cannot be splashed with water, he has a high reputation in the military, but his straightforward personality offended the commander before becoming a soldier. That day, the system checked and found out that his military strength was 82. With this strength, an excellent general is more than enough. As for why it went unnoticed later on, it may have been that he died in the Battle of Zhending City. Ask the relatives to call Li Ding to the county government office. Qin Xuan asked, now that the rebels are besieging the city, do you have the courage to fight against them? Li Ding clasped his fists and saluted Qin Xuan, adults, but with destiny, everything must be done. Let's wear down their morale first, and then I'll go out of the city with you to face them. Li Ding couldn't help but give Qin Xuan a high glance. Although what Qin Xuan has done these days has indeed made him return to his heart, he never believed that this county captain had the courage to go to the battlefield. After all, this county lieutenant is like a scholar, even more refined than many scholars. Isn't it a joke for someone like this to go to the battlefield? Qin Xuan asked Li Ding to give orders in ear, and then asked him to go back and arrange. And with it came an appointment, appointing Li Ding as the Marquis of the army, temporarily leading the entire army until another suitable general was appointed. Qin Xuan's reputation, coupled with Li Ding's already high prestige in the military, was not obstructed in his appointment. With Qin Xuan's arrangement, the defense of Zhending city has undergone significant changes. At mealtime, dozens of soldiers always hang rice and mantou on the city wall to eat. They not only ate well, but also kept babbling incessantly. It's better for us adults to have rice and mantou every day. I've gained several gene these days. Isn't it, the brothers across from me? I don't even know what you're doing. That's right, have you seen my clothes? They're just one piece that's even warmer than a quilt. The smell of white rice and big mantou came to the rebel camp with the cold wind, which caused a riot. Damn it, we're starving outside and eating the wind, they're eating delicious food and spicy food inside. Don't mention it, I heard that the food and supplies will run out in at most half a month, and if we can't fight anymore, we'll have to retreat. I'm getting increasingly hungry as you say. Finally, it was under the suppression of superiors that it stabilized. Until the next day, our Lord Qin thanked everyone for their rebellion for some reason. Today, we specially prepared 30,000 mantou for everyone to enjoy. As the Lord said, as long as you abandon the dark and turn to the light, you will come as brothers and have 3 meals a day. Did you see this coat on me? We adults call it military coat, it's very warm, as long as one person comes, we'll have 2 coats. Then he threw baskets of mantou to the rebels, and occasionally threw several army coats down. The mantou directly triggered the looting of Chu Yan's rebels. Just grab it and stuff it directly into the innermost part. This big mantou smells good. I've never tasted such delicious mantou before. The people in the city eat this 3 times a day. It's too luxurious. What's more, haven't you heard them say? There's rice, side dishes, and oily noodles. This food is even better than our generals. Who said it's not? I want to go in and surrender. Some people still feel deceived by their superiors, who the hell said that he and I were worried about the lack of food in the city. These tens of thousands of mantou were thrown out, like there was no food. Some people who grab military coats wear them directly on their bodies. Oh my goodness, these clothes are so warm. I feel like I'm wearing a quilt. Who said it's not? I think each of them has a set, and this kind of weather is even warmer than a barbecue. Who, you took off your clothes and didn't even know if you had something good to show filial piety to the officer. This scene kept happening throughout Chu Yan's entire army. When Chu Yan received the news, it was already too late. He was so angry that he smashed his own table directly. He knew that if he didn't take action again, his military morale would be chaotic, and a chaotic military morale would inevitably lead to defeat like a mountain collapsing. Immediately summon all the generals, attack the city early tomorrow morning. At this moment, Qin Xuan was receiving an unexpected person at the county government office. This person is at least 1.9 meters tall according to the algorithm of later generations, and he is both majestic and handsome. In this era, this height is really rare. Let the system check this person's force, 95. Top-level generals. When the young man saw Qin Xuan, he bowed. Zhao Zilong from Changshan has met Lord Qin. Qin Xuan was stunned when he heard this. Zhao Yun and Zhao Zilong are coming to bid. This is no different from pie falling from the sky. Since you're here, don't leave. Gong Sun Zan, don't blame me for cutting off your beard. Jumping directly to Zhao Yun and holding his hand, he asked in surprise, "Are you Zhao Yun and Zhao Zilong?" "It's me, sir." "Have you heard of me?" "Not only have I heard of it, it's like thunder piercing through my ears. I don't know why Zilong is looking for me. Coincidentally, there is great chaos in the world. I don't know if that is the Ming Lord. After discussing with many friends in Changshan, I have decided to follow the place where benevolent governance is implemented. I have seen and admired the actions of the Lord these days. I wonder if the Lord can allow Zilong to serve under his command." Qin Xuan was overjoyed. With the help of Zilong, great things can be accomplished. "Do you have any thoughts about the rebels outside, sir?" "I originally had a detailed plan, but now with the help of Zilong, I am more confident." "Can you be uncertain? This is killing a 7-in and 7-out ox man on the Nagasaka slope. The Chu Yan rebels are just a ball." Chapter 6. Lord Qin's Mighty Power, for Collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Qin Xuan immediately called Li Ding over to discuss the matter together. Chu Yan's rebels have been besieging the city for several days without success, coupled with the previous 2 days' plan of separation. The military's morale has already fluctuated. They will definitely launch an attack tomorrow. We can't let them take the initiative, so we need to take the initiative and crush them with one blow. At this moment, when Zhao Yun had just arrived and was about to show off, he naturally volunteered to participate in the battle. Qin Xuan took Li Ding as the vanguard, himself as the main general, and Zhao Yun as the deputy general to prepare for an attack. Li Ding was originally not convinced that Zhao Yun, a newcomer, could be the master. As a result, under Zhao Yun's command, he was defeated without even taking 10 moves, completely convinced. Zhending City, at the city gate. Chu Yan's army originally planned to attack the city, but found over 800 soldiers lined up at the opposite city gate, with 3 generals standing in front. 2 of them still look like generals. After all, one has a fierce face and the other is tall and powerful. And is the one in the middle here for a joke? The white horse silver spear looks very stylish and quite tall, but at first glance it looks like a good deal. Without any martial aura, silver spear crayon head. Looking at the people next to him showing even more respect, it seems that he is still a high-ranking official. If captured, it would definitely be a great achievement. In fact, not only the rebels are also a bit surprised, but the official army is also not optimistic about it. You said you're a county lieutenant, but you haven't been to the battlefield much, even though everyone thinks you're good for your actions. But not everyone can play the battlefield smoothly. At first glance, this county lieutenant looks like a young master. He's not the material to go to the battlefield. I have to be distracted and take care of him later. It's annoying to think about it. Just do a good job in logistics. If adults die here, how could they find such a good officer? Don't let the other side think too much. Li Ding drove his horse forward directly. I am truly determined by Li Ding, who will come forward to lead the death. The person on the other side also has a bad temper. Directly charge out a general. Li Ding died. Remember your grandfather's name is Chen Bei on the Huangquan Road. Chen Bei is a relatively weak general under Chu Yan. Not very skilled, quite hot-tempered. Just now, Li Ding was so angry that Chen Bei was dizzy. He just picked up his knife and cut it, but Li Ding's knife turned out to be faster than him. With one move, Chen Bei was beheaded under the horse. Li Ding continues to shout. Chu Yanjun's Zhongda tent. Report, the entire army of Zhending is stationed under the city. Report, enemy Li Ding calls for battle, General Chen Bei is beheaded. Chu Yan was surprised. What, in such a short amount of time, one of her generals was beheaded. Chu Yan directly dispatched his confidant Han Chun to confront the enemy. Han Chun doesn't have the patience to directly command a few generals to kill Li Dingwei. Charge! Qin Xuan took the lead and rushed to Li Ding's body, waving the silver spear in the sky. Rainstorm pear flower gun, Zhanshan skill. Several people across the street were caught off guard and all of them were stabbed off their horses in an instant. Everyone on the other side is dumbfounded. Isn't it a silver gun crayon tip? Isn't it for a cut scene? This is definitely a killing god. With one move, all 5 of my top generals will fall. What kind of monster is this? And when Zhending army saw Qin Xuan so fierce, his morale surged. I'll go, what did I see just now? With one move from the adults, everyone across from me is lying down. Adults are the gods of heaven descending to the mortal world, 1 to 5. I want to repent. Just now, I thought it was a burden for adults to go to the battlefield. I was wrong. What are you afraid of? Follow the adults and charge. Go ahead. The beeping sound of the system's increasing reputation kept ringing, and Qin Xuan silenced it directly. Chu Yan Central Army's great tent. Report, a general from the opposite side will stand out and use one move to pick out 5 generals from our army. Chu Yan was furious and took out a horizontal sword to prepare to kill the person who reported the military situation. Absurdity, how dare you falsely report the military situation and see if I won't execute you on the spot. Before it could be cut down, Han Chun ran back with a stream of urine. General, run quickly. The leader on the opposite side is not a human at all. Our people can't stop him. Chu Yanmu's canthus is about to crack, 10,000 people against 800 people, you tell me you can't stop it. Han Chun, you're really good at it. Han Chun thought it was easy to surround and kill 800 people with 10,000 people. As a result, the people on my side and the people on the opposite side collapsed like cut wheat. Qin Xuan's rice and Mantou were not provided for nothing, and there was oil in the noodles and salt in the dishes. During this period, the official army has really gained weight and is full of energy. On the other side, they are either porridge or dry food to send snow water. If it weren't for the belief that one can truly do as one pleases and persevering, they would have run away long ago. The 800 official soldiers who are now truly determined are like tigers entering a flock of sheep, directly defeating the enemy and fleeing. Han Chun looked at the situation where the army was defeated like a mountain collapsing, and knew that nothing could be done. Turn around the horse's head and come back to report to Chu Yan. Qin Xuan and his 3 companions galloped all the way on horseback, and when they met, there was no one in one enemy. In the back, the rebels voluntarily gave way. Han Chun is in a hurry. General, look, the 3 generals on the opposite side are about to be killed. There's no way to stop them. Fart. As soon as Chu Yan finished cursing, Qin Xuan, Zhao Yun, and Li Ding appeared in his sight, almost possessed by a killing spirit. People block killing, Buddha block killing, there is no enemy of unity. I don't have time to continue cursing. I know the situation is irreversible and can only escape first. After all, leaving the Green Mountains without worrying about having no firewood to burn. But it's already slow. The defeated army made it difficult for them to move, and Qin Xuan's side quickly caught up with Chu Yan. Chu Yan, don't flee. Surrender without killing. Under the siege of Qin Xuan and his 3 companions, Chu Yan was swept off his horse and pointed at with a silver gun, not daring to move a single move. Li Ding shouted loudly, Chu Yan has been defeated. Put down your weapons, and those who surrender will not be killed. Chu Yan has been defeated. Put down your weapons, and those who surrender will not be killed. Chu Yan has been defeated. Put down your weapons, and those who surrender will not be killed. The rebels have already been killed and collapsed, they just laid down their weapons and surrendered. Due to the rapid defeat of the rebels and Chu Yan, over 800 Zhending soldiers were only lightly injured, with no fatalities. And Qin Xuan's divine performance and divine martial arts skills even sparked the cheers of Zhending army. Your Majesty! I didn't expect the adult to be so powerful. I just thought he was here to cause trouble. You're not alone, that's what I thought just now. Who wouldn't be startled? Just now, with the master's marksmanship, I have benefited immensely from learning by Yi. Li Ding originally bowed to Qin Xuan with his fists clasped in his arms. Your majestic and domineering demeanor, Li Ding admires it. At this point, the siege of Zhending city has truly been lifted. Qin Xuan summoned the system interface, Schwa. Host. Qin Xuan official position. County Lieutenant of Zhending County reputation. 116-8680 force. 85 Finally, we have gathered enough reputation for 1 million. Chapter 7, Did you know that General Qin killed 5 with one shot? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhending City. The small officials arranged by Qin Xuan had already spread the military newspaper throughout Zhending City. Asking is just to gain reputation. Quick report, County Magistrate personally led 800 troops to defeat the Chu Yan rebellion. Capturing and killing dozens of enemy generals and capturing 8,000 rebels. The rebel siege of the city has already caused unbearable suffering for the people in the city. If it weren't for Qin Xuan delivering meals every day, I wouldn't know how many people died. Now I hear that the siege has been lifted and the rebels have been broken. Everyone couldn't help but be ecstatic, opening the door and leaving the house. Oh my goodness, the rebels have finally been beaten away. What ran away, captured 8,000, didn't you hear that? Finally, I can feel at ease. Although Lord Qin sends meals every day, the rebels are always on edge if they don't go. Is it true that if it weren't for Qin Xuan's great compassion on us, we wouldn't know how many people would starve to death and freeze to death? Everyone spontaneously went to the city gate to welcome the return of the army. Congratulations, Lord. You have defeated the enemy and returned. Congratulations, sir, on your triumphant return. Long live Lord Qin. I don't know who started shouting, long live, but gradually everyone shouted in unison, long live Lord Qin. Long live Lord Qin. Long live Lord Qin. Lord Qin. Qin Xuan did not deny it, he just waved to everyone. Li Ding understood Qin Xuan's intentions at a glance. In fact, the food and supplies in Zhending City have long been cut off, as Li Ding knows. I don't know where Lord Qin got so much good food. But with so much effort, it's just to be loyal to the court, and no one believes it when it comes to speaking up. Li Ding waved his arms and shouted loudly, long live Lord Qin. Soldiers also shouted along with Li Ding. Long live Lord Qin. Then he returned to the military camp with his head held high and his chest held high. Some soldiers returning home and the people inside excitedly said, do you know that Lord Qin drove his horse forward and used a single move to unleash the shadow of a spear in the sky, killing all 5 generals across from him. The next day, a group of aunties were chatting under the gatehouse, do you know? I heard that Lord Qin Xuan used one move, and the sky was filled with gun shadows. 15 enemy generals fell. You can just blow it. Why is it boasting? My son told me last night with his own mouth. Aunt's son is a soldier, as everyone knows, this makes it even more credible. Auntie has always been the backbone of rumors. Later on, it became more and more exaggerated. You don't know, Lord Qin Xuan used one move and the sky was filled with gun shadows, all 50 enemy troops fell. You must be bragging. Last time I heard about it, there were still 15, but now it's 50 with you. How come you're bragging? Think about it, if it weren't for one move of 50, how long would it take to break through 810,000? It seems reasonable again. Qin Xuan didn't know about these, but the increase in reputation surprised him. D. Reputation plus 5. D. Reputation plus 15. D. Reputation plus 50. D. Reputation plus 50. The reputation has already reached 1.3 million, it's time to upgrade to a second-level mall. Are you sure you want to use 1 million points to upgrade the mall? Okay. Successfully upgraded the mall and opened the second-level mall permissions. Successfully upgraded the mall, the host's force plus 5. Host strength reaches 90, obtaining a martial god posture. Using increases strength by 10%, can be used once a day, lasting for half an hour. Secondary mall. 1 pig's foot rice, 2 reputation. 1 kilogram of wuchang rice, 2 reputation. 1 kilogram of iodized salt, 2 reputation. Qin Xuan couldn't help but be overjoyed. If soldiers want to adapt to high-intensity combat, they can only practice. But rice and Mantou alone cannot withstand the cost of military training. Now that you have pig's foot rice, you can completely let go of practicing. And rice and refined salt are adapted to the operation of the army in the future. After all, they cannot separate themselves and cannot follow the army to feed. Force plus 5, reaching a level of 90, reaching the level of a top-notch warrior. Opening the martial god posture is the strength of a top-notch warrior. Qin Xuan was still immersed in the surprise of upgrading the mall, while at this time, 8,000 rebels were being detained on the campus. After all, with so many people, the prison can no longer be released. Everywhere are dejected rebels. At the time of the meal, only a vat of rice and Mantou were carried into the schoolyard. Those rebels have ignited hope in their hearts. Is this for us to eat? What do you think? They have such a kind heart to give us these things to eat. It's a great favor to have a bowl of porridge for us to eat. Sigh. When the vats were opened one after another, the aroma of rice and Mantou spread out, and the prisoners were even more restless. At this moment, a general-like person walked in. It's the one who killed General Li Ding. Your Highness is kind-hearted and has arranged to send you some food. Line up one by one, come up and get your meal. Upon hearing that these things were all for them, the rebels hesitated instead. Some timid people cried out in fear. Woo, this is the severed head meal. Sir, I was forced to join the rebel army reluctantly, I am wrongly accused. I won't eat any more, please let me go, sir. Li Ding looked disdainfully at these defeated subordinates, saying it's for you to eat is for you to eat, why do you want so much? Your Excellency said, as long as you sincerely join the army, you will become the brothers of the robe in the future. Rice, Mantou, 3 meals a day, enough. Those who don't join the army, rush out of the city and find their own way of life. They are all cowards, not even anyone with courage. At this moment, a middle-aged man stepped forward, who do you look down on? If a person dies, the bird will face the sky. If they don't die for thousands of years, even if they die, being a starving ghost is better than being a starving ghost. Then I picked up rice and Mantou and ate it. And other soldiers can still join the army upon hearing this. Joining the army allows for 3 meals a day and eating full meals every day. Where would you hesitate? Take it and walk to the side to wolf down. Hiss, the Mantou is really delicious. This rice is delicious, it looks like polished rice. If I had known that being a soldier was so good, why would I have turned around? Eating like this every day, how about handing over this life? Most of these rebels are either unable to survive and forced to do nothing, and on the contrary, those who committed heinous crimes were either killed or fled early. The rebels have been completely conquered by this food. All members joined the army, not a single one left. Chapter 8. Changing the name. It's a small thing for adults to make the decision, please. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Definite prison. Chu Yan and the generals were respectively detained here after being captured. There are only 2 guards inside today. It seems like something is going to happen. There are only a few long tables lined up, which are filled with fragrant braised pig feet, soy egg, rice and mantou. The smell of meat made even the rebel generals not calm down. How many days have you not eaten meat? Moreover, the fragrance of various spices in pig feet is now a blow to dimensionality reduction. Chu Yan is no exception, but he thinks more that this should be his last meal. Others may let it go. As a leader, there won't be a good outcome. Bang! I saw the prison gate open and Qin Xuan strode in with Zhao Yun and Didi. Please bring out all the generals, each of you can take a pig's foot and go out. Hee, thank you for your reward. These pig feet are so fragrant. After releasing Chu Yan and the others, they all picked up a pig's foot and left alone. I don't know who else I went to show off to when I left. Chu Yan and his 6 generals sat nervously at the table. Is it time to decide one's own destiny? Qin Xuan waved his hand. Generals, please take your seats first. I know that even a few generals don't have much intention of eating without first telling the story. In times of chaos, may I know how many generals would be willing to serve under my command? Chu Yan and others couldn't help but be surprised. Qin Xuan's question was not whether they were willing to join the official army, but whether they were under his command. This is different. Does Qin Xuan also have ulterior motives? Qin Xuan continued, I'm not afraid to tell everyone that the world is in chaos now, and I just want to have some self-protection power in this chaotic world. Chu Yan suddenly asked, I don't know if adults have enough food and weapons, or it won't be easy to survive in this chaotic world. Indeed, they are people who have led a large army, and a question directly points to the essence. Qin Xuan waved his hand, you don't have to worry about food and supplies, it's not easy to raise a 100,000 strong army 3 times a day. Just surround the city outside, I can support the entire city for decades. Hiss. 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 Chu Yan and the others couldn't help but take a deep breath of air conditioning. Feed 100,000 troops with food and forage, and have enough food to besiege the city for decades. There isn't so much food in the entire Jizhou. What kind of divine is Qin Xuan? How could he obtain so much food? Are you serious, sir? I never lie. In the future, not only will we manage enough food, but we will also manage meat for you at a certain stage. Hiss. 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 Another sound of forceful air conditioning. Neither Didi nor Zhao Yun knew how abundant the county magistrate's provisions were. I thought it was because the mountains and rivers were exhausted that I rushed out to fight the rebels to the death. Now it seems that adults have long had the chance to win. The respect for Qin Xuan in my heart is even higher. Chu Yan directly left her seat and fell to the ground. I am willing to work hard for adults in my humble position. The other few people looked at Chu Yan and bowed, leaving no further thoughts. I am willing to work hard for adults in my humble position. I am willing to work hard for adults in my humble position. I am willing to work hard for adults in my humble position. Qin Xuan helped them up one by one. General Chu, the leader you previously led has already been named in the court. If you want to change your name in the future, just call him Zhang Yan. I told you in the war report that you were killed during the pacification, so no one will hold you accountable. Qin Xuan remembered that later Chu Yan changed his name to Zhang Yan after the death of Zhang Youjiao. Although he had already subdued him in advance, he still didn't want to change this. After all, the smaller the butterfly effect, the more advantageous it is for oneself. Chu Yan was overjoyed and bowed again. Zhang Yan, thank you for giving me your name. Changing a name is a small matter that adults can make decisions without consulting their own opinions. Changing his name is a small matter. Qin Xuan asked him to change his name, which is treating him like his own person. That's why he is willing to serve. Everyone, stop pestering and come eat and drink. Qin Xuan started himself first, otherwise no one else would be able to eat. Pig feet are really fragrant, soft and rotten, and still have the same taste as before. Chu Yan and the others were also extremely hungry. Qin Xuan had already started eating and couldn't resist it. Pour a spoonful of pig feet directly into the bowl for each person. Hiss. 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 It's another sound of gasping air. This pig's feet are so fragrant, there's no hint of coquettishness. I don't know how adults do it. Soft and flavorful, 1 sip of pork and 1 sip of wine, not even for a high-ranking official. If you had taken out this food earlier, why would we have fought? Zhang Yan, Chu Yan, already loves to eat meat, and the addition of various spices and marinated pig feet makes him unable to stop eating. Remembering how I couldn't afford to eat at that time, I led a rebellion in the team, and tears welled up in my eyes. Sir, if we make a big mistake, you can still treat me like this. From now on, Zhang Yan's life will be entrusted to you. Here's a toast, everyone. After the 3 rounds, the atmosphere gradually rose, and with the intentional friendship of Zhao Yun and the others, the generals all joined forces. Qin Xuan also drank a lot, but the wine of the 3 kingdoms has really faded out, not even the water and wine of later generations. After drinking a pound, my face didn't even turn red. Let several generals exclaim even more, Your Excellency, you have a good tolerance for alcohol. When will there be enough Maozi and Wuliangye in the mall? After a banquet, both guests are delighted. Zhang Yan and his team were completely conquered by pig's feet rice. Chapter 9. Top Strategists Seeking to Meet, Seeking Collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Let's eat, let's eat. Upon hearing the sound of food being released, soldiers walked out of the Zhending military camp one by one. Many people couldn't help but sniff at the fragrance spreading in the air. What flavor, so fragrant. How do I feel like it tastes like meat? You haven't eaten enough rice and mantou every day. You want to eat meat. Who doesn't want to eat meat, don't you? Tell me it's not meat, what's so fragrant? At this moment, an informant whispered to the people around him, You don't know, yesterday Li Daniu, who was guarding the prison, brought a pig's foot home and said it was a reward from an adult. That smell can be smelled from a long distance, it's this fragrance. Wait a moment, you guys need to stabilize. Li Daniu was one of the guards in the prison yesterday. He took a pig's foot and walked around the city gate, which many people saw. It's like modern anglers catching big fish and circling the community 3 times. Lord Qin said, Everyone has been working hard lately. Today, we have been working hard, so please let go and eat. I saw the person serving the food uncovering the large vats one by one. That domineering aroma spread out like a shell exploding. The officers and soldiers in front stretched their heads and looked at the golden red pig feet, accompanied by waves of fragrance. The soy egg looks delightful too. Just smelling saliva is almost coming down. Gently placing that spoon on top of the meat can trigger a wave, making it sticky and tender. The soldiers at the front of the line picked up their bowls and fiercely grabbed a pig's foot, then squatted to the side. Hiss, this is too fragrant. It's soft and rotten, and tastes good. It melts right in the mouth, fat but not greasy. Anyway, I haven't tasted such delicious meat before. I guess only Mr. Zhu from the past can taste it. Master Zhu can't eat it either. I used to go to Master Zhu's mansion with a general, and it was quite sumptuous, but there was none that could compare to this taste. Not only Mr. Zhu, do you think the best restaurants in the city can make this flavor? The adults are so kind to us. Qin Xuan watched as his reputation rubbed upwards. Schwa. Summon up the system interface. Host. Qin Xuan official position. Magistrate of Zhending County reputation. 451,984. 90 PS. You can upgrade a level 3 shopping mall with a reputation of 5 million. Upgrading a level 3 shopping mall will randomly display special items in addition to refreshing regular items. PS. Special items are refreshed once a week. We need to quickly upgrade to the 3rd level mall. The true battle report has already been reported to Han Fu. I couldn't help but laugh when I saw Qin Xuan writing in the war report that he had broken through 8 million. Qin Xuan is so overjoyed that he claims to have broken through 8 million. Anyway, it's just a small county town. What if we raise him up to become a county magistrate? In times of chaos, if he wants to be this early bird, let him be it. Nowadays, every state and county is too busy to deal with air traffic control in such a small county town as Zhending County. As long as it's not for military or food, it's easy to say. Han Fu waved his pen and directly criticized it. However, I remember the names of Qin Xuan, Zhao Yun, and Li Ding. Just look when you need to pull it out and use it as cannon fodder. But if he knew that Zhending County had nearly 10,000 troops, he wouldn't know how to feel. There was no reward, only one appointment was made to Zhending County, appointing Qin Xuan as the magistrate of Zhending County. Qin Xuan is also so happy that no one cares. His most important thing now is development. Zhending City welcomes guests to the inn. A handsome man in his 30s, with bright eyes that reveal wit and intelligence. A follower is packing their luggage. Sir, now that the siege has been lifted and we have traveled long enough, shouldn't we set off for home? Don't worry, I want to see this county magistrate before deciding whether to leave. Is even a county magistrate in the eyes of adults? It is evident that this follower has extreme recognition and admiration for his own adults. You only see that he is a county magistrate, and even if you say it, you don't understand. Please pass me the petition. Just say, Zhu Shou seeks an audience. At this time, Qin Xuan was discussing military construction with Zhao Yun, Li Ding, and Zhang Yan. After all, with tens of thousands of troops now, if not properly managed, there will be chaos. Now that the grain management is sufficient, soldiers can also relax their training. Just looking at the fact that the Zhending official army has gained weight in less than a month, it is clear that the previous soldiers were severely undernourished. Previously, it was difficult to practice every 3 days, but now Qin Xuan demands to practice every day. Even created training programs for future armies for them. Housekeeping, and physical fitness are all up. 5 km off-road road, 100-meter sprint, frog jump, push-ups, single-leg climb, combination fitness training. Those who practice well and perform well, eat meat every day. Those who can't practice well can only watch others eat meat. Zhang Yan can also be considered a person who has led a large army and does not fully understand Qin Xuan's Q training. Sir, I can still understand this physical training. What's the use of this Q training? It's chaotic when we start fighting. After you train, you will know the benefits of this Q. Just kidding, the Q doesn't work. Can future armies practice it? The improvement of obedience consciousness, cohesion, and spiritual outlook in Qs is more than just a little bit. Think about the army on the opposite side being loose and scattered, while the army on this side is marching in unison with a towering momentum. Dimension Reduction Strike. Chapter 10. Am I the son of Qi Luck? Seeking Collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Qin Xuan, who had returned home, finally saw Zhu Zhu's petition. Zhu Zhu. This is a celebrity, a top strategist, and a talent of Wangzhou. Unfortunately, the wrong person was chosen, and the outcome was not good. But this person is extremely loyal and won't be like Qin Gong, who has 2 sides and 3 swords on the wall, back and forth. Do you want to join yourself by submitting a petition? Am I the son of luck? If I really had top advisors to assist me. You can completely trust him with this rear area. Qin Xuan couldn't wait for a moment, so he immediately called Qin Sui to pick up Professor Zhu. Professor Zhu bowed before meeting. Professor Zhu has met Lord Qin. Qin Xuan quickly supported him. No need to be polite, sir, please sit down. After Zhu returned a gift, he sat next to him. The food and tea have already been set up. I don't know why sir is looking for me. What do you think of the current situation, sir? Qin Xuan pondered for a moment. The Han dynasty was weak and rebellious. Dong Zhuo of Liangzhou rose up to suppress the rebellion and gained a great reputation. Sooner or later, he would lead the Liangzhou army to conquer the world. But Dong Zhuo is too cruel and doesn't follow the rules, which is bound to attract a lot of dissatisfaction, and the result won't be too good. The Yuan family in Runan is deeply rooted, but their younger generation has a short-sighted and suspicious nature, which is not enough to be afraid of. On the contrary, there are a few people who have the talent of a hero. Professor Zhu couldn't help but ask, I don't know if the adults are talking about those three people. Sun Quan, Cao Cao, Liu Bei. But now these few people are still in the twilight. This is Qin Xuan's advantage as a time traveler. In the future, when these three people truly rise to power, Zhu Shu will be amazed by himself. Although Zhu Shu didn't quite understand why Qin Xuan valued these three people so much, he had to remember their names first. Professor Zhu suddenly asked a question, do you have the ambition to compete for the world? Qin Xuan laughed heartily, saying it's not a lie, but it's not urgent. Now I am a county magistrate, I need time. May I ask if you can help me, sir? Smart people don't need to point too clearly when speaking. Professor Zhu knows what Qin Xuan said about the time needed. Zhu Shou is willing to provide advice for adults, thank you for accommodating me. Qin Xuan couldn't help but be overjoyed, sir, with your help, great things can be achieved. Goodbye, sir. Gongda can call me Lord. Qin Xuan directly snatched Liu Bei's exclusive title of Lord in the early stage. Juju cannot help but be overjoyed. After all, no one wants to be inferior to the people they are with. The title of Lord is just right. Qin Xuan was truly delighted. Although there were many generals below him, there was not a single strategist. Now with the top strategist Zhu Shu, the weak link has been filled. Since he has already recognized the master, Zhu Shu quickly entered the role. I don't know how many useful soldiers there will be in 6 months, Lord. Is there enough food and supplies? There is plenty of food and grass, there's no need to consider this. 6 months later, there will be tens of thousands of available soldiers. That little one is really determined, I can't let go of the big dragon, Lord. In half a year, my lord should plan for Changshan Kingdom. If it really works, the next step is to plan for Jizhou. Only by seizing the land of Jizhou before Yuan Shao, can I count myself as having a foothold in this chaotic world. Qin Xuan certainly has confidence in training all these nearly 10,000 troops into elite soldiers within 6 months. And these are all soldiers who have seen blood on the battlefield. Good and delicious food to offer, I can't practice it. Damn it. And with the increasing amount of food, the dilemma of Zhending has been solved. Now, Zhending people regard Qin Xuan as a heavenly god. You can definitely upgrade to a 3rd-level mall within 6 months, and then you will have more confidence. I'll leave the planning to the master in the future. If I take my life for granted, then I'll leave first. If you don't have a place to live, sir, I still have a house in the city, so I'll give it to you. Thank you, Lord. Zhu Shu returned to the inn and found his attendant. I have decided to follow Lord Qin and make some achievements. You can go back on your own first. What do adults say? You gave me my life, so if you keep it, I will naturally keep it. Okay, I'll borrow a few soldiers from adults tomorrow and escort you back to pick up my wife and child. It's a deal. After the attendant was taken down, he helped Zhu Shu move his luggage to the house sent by Qin Xuan. Upon learning that Zhu Zhu had moved to his own house, Qin Xian's heart finally let go. You ask Qin Xian to come up with a plan. The plan is reasonable, but strategic matters definitely require the help of a strategist. Human resources are sometimes poor, and even if a person is smart, there are always omissions, let alone Qin Xian who is afraid of trouble. As long as the overall direction is correct. Han Fu directly criticized the report of elevating Zhu Shou to the position of county magistrate. After declaring Zhu as the county magistrate, all government affairs were handed over to Zhu for handling. Qin Xian has completely relaxed. In the second year of Zhongping, February. The officers and soldiers of Zhending city have been trained for more than 3 months. 3 delicious waiters a day for these 3 months. The officers and soldiers in the entire military camp have all grown stronger. Those who rank high in training have pig's feet to eat, but those who fall behind cannot tolerate it. The next day, they will fight their lives to surpass. The combat effectiveness is soaring. Since Zhu Zhu intentionally spoke out the Lord's statement, Zhao Yun and his team have also referred to Qin Xian as the Lord. Zhang Yan is very frustrated now. I thought the protagonist's practice Q training was useless, I was a bit relaxed earlier. Now I see the gap, training my soldiers together is not as good as yours. Li Ding chuckled, I'm stupid, I always execute the Lord's orders immediately. Zhao Yun continued the topic, the Lord's training method is not simple. The seemingly simple Q allows the army to follow orders and prohibitions. In the future, even if you practice any formation, you can quickly get started. And the same goes for organizing internal affairs. Didn't you see that officers and soldiers are paying attention to their image now? I used to be a good man who didn't join the army, but now the protagonist is changing everyone's mindset. I am honored to be a soldier, I am proud to be a soldier. Physical training has become even more important. Look at the soldiers you are leading now and the soldiers you were leading before, one day at a time. I think adults will definitely make big moves this year, so everyone, work hard. Making achievements is right now.